morning. I'm back again with yet another classic recipe. So today I'll be baking carrot cake. So I'll be making, I don't know how. Alright, yeah. So I'll be using flour and I'm using Skhosana again. Remember, I'm just using this brand. Honestly, any brand will work. There's nothing special about Skhosana that I can mention, but just the fact that I got it and probably it was on sale. So yeah. So I'm going to use, as long as it's wheat flour, it's good enough. I'm going to take 2 cups of flour. It also depends on your serving. So I'm thinking of making 3 because I feel a bit generous. I feel like I'm going to be sharing this carrot cake with quite a number of people, so let me make it 3. But listen to the first ingredient that I mentioned. So it's actually 2 cups, right? But today, for the sake of my generosity, I'm going to make 3 cups. And the same applies to your bicarbonate of soda. If you watched my banana loaf recipe, I mentioned that your baking powder, whenever you bake something that has baking powder and bicarbonate of soda, those measurements should always be the same. If you're going to use 2 tablespoons of baking powder, you should use 2 tablespoons of bicarb. But that's only for your soft cakes, like your cakes, not your biscuits. That's something different. I think we'll get there when I start sharing my biscuit recipes. So yeah, it's the bicarb, exact same measurement as the baking powder. Now I'm adding my cinnamon. My cinnamon, I'm going to add it exactly the same as my baking powder and bicarbonate of soda. So I'm just adding that. Some cinnamon. Remember, don't add too much cinnamon, guys. Cinnamon has a tendency of also making food bitter if you add too much of it, né? So make sure you don't add too much. And the same measurements will go for your ginger, as well as your ginger as well as your nutmeg. So this is the ginger, and now it's the nutmeg. Okay, this one is well sealed. So yeah, same measurements. So basically your small and dry ingredients are gonna have the same measurements. Ne? Oh, I love the smell of nutmeg, guys. It smells, oh my goodness, I love it. Alright, and that's what we have. That's it for now. So now we're just gonna mix everything together. I'm gonna sieve everything into my mixture and into my bowl. Alright, so now I'm just mixing everything together. Make sure that this is a very important step, ne? It's very important to mix everything in together while it is still dry, while it is still in the dry ingredient state, you know. Make sure you get that well incorporated. Alright, now it's time for the eggs. I do remember saying last time that you need to break your eggs on a separate bowl to avoid mixing eggs that are rotten or that have some, I don't know what they call them. I'll do my research. But yeah, I know some eggs have babies. I call them babies. I don't know. They have like these red small things in them. Yeah, so avoid having that in your mixture. So this depends on your sweet tooth. Some people love their cake super sweet. I remember I made my banana loaf. I used it according to my liking, and the people liked it. You know, they were like, it is not too sweet, and it also doesn't lack sugar. So yeah, if you want to stick to my measurements, you'll be good to go, best believe. Now that your sugar is in, we're gonna have to mix it with our eggs first. So it's the sugar and the eggs. I'd also say try not to use equipment, guys. As baking equipment is not for everything. You see these old classic recipes, these banana loaves, your carrot cakes, they do not require any equipment. If you use equipment, honestly, you're gonna over mix your batter and it's gonna get hard, or it's not gonna come out the way it should. So try your best to avoid using equipment, ne? And now for the queen of baking, our vanilla essence. We're gonna add 2 teaspoons of vanilla. Alright, now that we've added our wet ingredients, it's time for the oil. Remember I did say that we are not going to use butter. We're gonna use oil. So this is, I'm just using olive joy. It's seed oils and olive oil blend. Any olive oil that you have, or even if it's not olive oil, wow, you can use that. Me using olive oil is a preference. I'm used to using olive oil. Alright, now for the exciting part. So you're going to add carrots, obviously, carrot cake, you know, makes sense. I added large carrots and it's like 3 of them, ne? So I'm adding them to my mixture, and now I'm gonna add them bit by bit so that they can properly mix in with the batter. It's so red. I love the fact that my carrots are actually orange. You know, carrots sometimes have this pale color. I don't like that, especially when you're baking or making a beautiful salad. It would need you to have like bright, fresh. But remember, try to have your carrots ripe. Carrots get riper. It's like almost like bananas. It's just that they won't get soft and soggy like bananas. But the longer you keep them and they start getting a bit soft, that's when you know that your carrots are at its sweetest, you know, state. But I think that also depends on the quality. I don't know, but that's my experience with carrots. I always just let them sit a bit longer in my cupboards. Now I will be sharing a secret ingredient that is not a traditional ingredient, but it's what I use to make my cakes, to give it a special touch. Guys, I'm in Ndebele, we have Interbat Mana Skhosana. This does the trick, you know. Amasi, not inkomazi. There's a difference. Mas is a bit less bitter, but it has more cream. So use mas. I love juice. And now I'm adding my second, okay, let me just say the rest of my wet ingredients. Guys, let me mention this. Do remember to preheat your oven when you are grating your carrots. Okay, well, I grated mine at the end. Yeah, I did that off camera. But yeah, when you're at this stage, make sure your oven is being preheated. If you're in South Africa, or if you're using a similar stove, it's the normal DeFi stove. Yeah, so I put mine on grill. Oh yeah, back here again. I put mine on grill so that it gets hot. I just put it on the maximum settings, maximum heat, maximum whatever, just for 5 minutes. It's gonna be enough. Oh yeah, so it's a cup of your mass and it's half a cup of milk, just to get the dough soft, and it helps with fluffiness, man. It helps with getting that fluff, getting that nice, yeah, you will see. You will see. You might not taste unless you actually try the recipe, but you will see for yourself. Also, I did mention with me, I'm a bit traditional. I'm self-taught on it. So I'm not the one who's gonna use tricks and fancy things when I bake. I'll use traditional methods. So now I'm taking my pan, I'm greasing it to make sure that the cake doesn't stick. Oh my gosh, I didn't record. Okay, but anyway, you guys, you put in your mixture into your baking tray. I'm sorry about that. Well, I don't think it's complicated, really. You just take your butter, you put it in the baking tray. Literally simple, just like that. Alright, so our cake is ready. I just removed it from the oven. It looks beautiful. So I just let it sit for 5 to 10 minutes so that it can cool off and make it easy for me to remove it from the pan. As you can see, voila! Isn't she lovely? Oh, and guys, the trick is in letting it sit. Let it sit so that it can... Oh my goodness, look at that. Guys, this is for cake. So I didn't, make the cake to like... look at that. Would you look at that? Huh? Yummy, 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 I can yummy my tongue.